Hey guys, Todd with Center Valley Customs. I don't know what we did last week because I haven't finished last week's video and I'm already on to the next video. So that's how this is going. Working on motor mounts. Here with Bad Boy Troy, of course. The you know how like Putin's Fab Shop has a Wild Bill from Pot County? This is like Wild Troy from Outagamie County. More or less, he just doesn't ride a bike. Well, he does a bike. It's a hog. Badass biker right here. Watch out. Ladies and gentlemen, hide your wives.
Got a dream catcher on it and everything.
Yeah. He's got a special edition because there's only so many made with a dream catcher on them. Woo!
It's a numbered back.
He's got a, what is it, a Fat Boy? Fat Boy or whatever?
Fat Boy and a Dyna.
Fat Boy and a Dyna.
The Dreamcatcher Edition Dyna.
Dreamcatcher Edition Dyna. And apparently we're supposed to be working on his Fat Boy here once he orders some parts. Once he figures out the internet. Apparently he doesn't need Google because Google calls him. But anyway, we're ripping out these motor mounts. We already got the exhaust manifolds out and dropped the exhaust down. And now I don't know. Now it's on the motor mount part. And
now we're
yeah, no, never mind. I guess we are gonna rip this radiator and the shroud out, get the fan off, make room up here so that we can pick that up and put those in, which my plan was to use my tractor to do this, but it's cold out and we've had a few beverages, so this sounds like a good time to do it. Probably what's going to end up doing is we're going to use a jack with a 2x4 and oil pan lifted up. I'm not really sure how this is going to happen yet, honestly. So we're going to work on ripping this stuff out and continue. Yeah.
half inch.
Yeah. Well, this thing's going to come off here, so now 7/16. I guess now we could, well, maybe not. I don't know.
So if you ever think about skipping anti-seize, don't do it because these came off. I asked him the last time when they came off and he said 1970 something, which had to be mid-90s, and they still have anti-seize on them and they all broke loose. None of them snapped. None of them rounded off. Put anti-seize on your stuff. It's not that hard.
3/8.
Really land on the floor right here.
Yeah. Should have Medusas up in here.
Ooh. So no, it's good.
I don't know if this has to come out, probably. Is that 3/8 over there yet? I'll use this one. Seven 16 some sort.
Right here.
Between a 7/16 and 3/8.
9 mil?
10 millimeter probably. Not sure. Not sure why this would be. This must have been the year where they switched between metric and standard.
Yeah, or somebody just had bolts laying around and then used them. I have to have a talk with Wes.
Something my father would do. Idiot. This whole tray's gotta come out.
What old tray?
No, I don't.
Oh, no.
I have to cut those off. Is that side all out? I don't know if that. Don't pull the radiator. There's still a bottom hose on that radiator. Oh, there's a bolt here. Hand me a wrench. A wrench, not the light.
What wrench?
I don't know, 3/8, 10 millimeters, 7/16, something. 3/8. Somebody that's got a C10 somewhere is going to be looking for this.
Outagamie County dump.
That's where it'll be at. Now, let the water run. Oh shit! Oh, it's going everywhere.
Put your drain. Oh, just at the top, huh?
Yeah, I saw that in there. Every motor holds about 87 gallons of water. There is water everywhere.
What am I hooked to? Oh, tranny cooler.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how we're gonna get rid of that. This video is sponsored by my father. Get out of my way so I can show. This video is sponsored by my father with Oil Dry. Softy Zorb. Thanks, Pops, for the $4 bag of whatever, Oil Dry.
I mean, you could have at least you got you the Friskies lavender scented.
Oh, nice.
Man, they definitely didn't do it any favors putting it through.
No.
Ouch.
That's garbage. Throw that out back.
Don't punch radiators. They're sharp.
Okay, now should we try unbolting the transmission? Crossmember? Probably not a bad idea.
Well, the Crossmember for sure.
Yeah. I don't know about all the tranny linkage. If that all needs to be undid or if maybe we can leave that together. There. Look at it. Yeah.
Right there. Is that just a bolt shoved through with no nut on it?
Maybe.
See what I'm looking at?
Yeah, maybe.
By where your brake lines come up?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's under there. Anyway, we gotta figure out what we gotta do with the transmission because I don't know. For sure, gonna unbolt the cross member in case this has to go one way or the other. Shouldn't. I hope not. But I don't know about the linkage, so figure that out right now. All right, I'm gonna take this linkage off the frame here, and I'm not sure if this needs to come apart. Whoops. Or not, but I'm gonna take it apart just in case, so I don't yank on this linkage. All right, we got the transmission unbolted and all the linkage taken out. We're gonna try to pull the center bolt out of these motor mounts and get those removed. There's no light or any way for you to see, so we're just gonna do it. We're kinda, I don't know, iffy on this whole situation because we don't know where the motor is gonna go, so we're gonna try to get.
It's gonna go up for sure. We're just not sure back and forth.
It's gonna go up for sure, but we don't know. Yeah. So we're gonna work on getting these old motor mounts out. There's not really anything for anybody to see, so we're just gonna do it. get it done with, and I don't know. Okay, so we got the motor mounts out and everything, and going to put them in, and it's a no-go. Well, at this point. So this is a situation I'm dealing with here. So, of course this light is not going to cooperate. There we go. In order for these motor mounts to go in, the whole motor needs to move ahead probably 1.25 to 1.5 inches. So these go here. The stock mounts are like way back here. So what that means is if I move this motor that far ahead, which is what I want, because then it'll give me room for headers and it'll give me room for valve covers. That $800 drive shaft I got, not going to work. So this is my plan. I'm going to put all the old stuff back in that my father made. And then my plan is this next coming winter, probably to pull this motor out and build it up. This also has like a weird turbo 200 or some weird transmission. It's a 3-speed, but it's not a turbo 350 and it's not a turbo 400. It's something else. I'll probably end up getting a different transmission with overdrive, probably a 700 R4 or something to that nature. And because it's got an extra gear, it'll be longer. So what that means is when I go to do that, I can put these motor mounts in. It'll pull the motor ahead a couple, well, 1.5 inches, call it. Transmission will get longer, and hopefully either my drive shaft will just work the way it is, or I'll have to get it cut down, which it'll be cheaper to get it cut down than to obviously make a whole new drive shaft. So that's kind of my plan. I'll still buy headers. I have some that I've looked at that would work, I think, but they're like a small 1.5 inches, I think, primary tube or something. They're kind of small and whatever, but they're cheap. They're like $150. So if I buy those, and even if I beat the living hell out of them to get them to fit, I won't feel that bad about it. So that's kind of my plan. We're going to put this all back together, like I said already, and go from there. Regardless, the radiator had to come out and all that good stuff, so we're one step ahead there at least, and that kind of thing. So unfortunate, it sucks. I already kind of knew this was going to happen, and I probably should have just waited on the drive shaft until I did this, but I didn't because I'm impatient. But it is what it is. So we're gonna smash all this crap back in. Probably say a bunch of cuss words.
On the plus side, got the new coils in the 5.3. So.
Well, they don't know anything about that yet, so.
Oh.
Future. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Coming up.
It's going in a Chevelle eventually.
Yeah, going in a Chevelle.
And
here's a tip: if you're gonna order coils, buy the right ones, not the wrong ones, so you don't have to buy fancy brackets.
It looks a lot better though.
Step 1 of building an LS: pay a bunch of money. Step 2: don't make it look good.
This moron. These don't fit in here very well. So instead of just buying 90s for spark plug wires, this idiot wants to just get different headers. So instead of spending...
This is a guy trying to move the motor so he can fit headers in it. Oh no, these are terrible. Don't buy different headers. No.
I'm doing this for more reasons than just headers. I'm getting valve covers too.
Oh, valve covers also, sorry.
Yeah. So, whatever. We're going to put this shit back in, stuff back in. Sorry, I'll edit that out. I'll beep it out. So, okay. Hey guys, it's been a while. I haven't recorded since Friday. Saturday, and it's Thursday now, so almost 7 days. Well, yeah, 6 or 7 days. But left off, Taylor helped me try to put motor mounts in this thing, and that was a no-go. They would have went in, they would have fit, all that kind of stuff, but it would have moved the motor too far ahead. So, whatever. That'll be for another day down the road. What I did do, though, recently. Actually, here are those motor mounts that I tried to put in. I don't think I actually showed these, but these are from CPP. I think it's Classic Performance Parts. They're kind of pricey, like a couple $100, but I wanted something that I knew would fit. And like I said, they would fit. Everything would have worked out just fine, except for it would have moved my motor too far ahead, and then my drive shaft wouldn't have worked. So whatever, that's that. Yeah, say hi. Now get out of here. Go outside or in the house or something. One thing I did do yesterday, I ordered a transmission crossmember because this was the old one. Just a piece of channel. So I wanted a legitimate one. So I did order one and I installed it yesterday. And surprisingly, it went fairly well. Took some minor grinding on some tabs, but otherwise it bolted right up, which I was not expecting. I figured I was gonna have to drill holes in the frame and stuff, but it was for a C10 LS swap, which this is an LS swap, but whatever, it worked. So I can see if I can kind of show you that. That's the cross member. Pretty nice. Super cheap. I think it was like $60. Really cheap. So I couldn't say no. So I got it. Like I said, went in pretty well. Pretty minor grinding. No big deal. But what I did do was order headers. I had a set of headers that I thought about buying, which took this pipe and went over the top and then came down instead of down and over, because I'm worried about this corner hitting the frame. Well, I kind of half-assed stuck these in, and it's actually this pipe that's hitting the top of the frame. So I'm like 95% positive these are not going to work. And I'm like 99% positive we're not going to be able to get them to work. So I expected maybe a little bit of grinding on the frame or beating with a hammer, something, whatever, to get it to fit. But I think that this is too far past that. But I took all the plugs out of the passenger side, and I'm actually going to give it a legit try to get them in. I just tried to stick them in from the top, and I could not get them to fit. But I'm going to give it a real good ditch effort to get them up, maybe from the bottom, and maybe I can get it angled enough to where it'll clear the frame. I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to give it a shot and see how close I can get them. But I'm pretty positive they're not going to work. So, I don't know. I'll try to record it, but honestly, there's probably not going to be much you'll be able to see. So, cover me. I'm going in. Can you see me? All right, good. All right, let's see. How is this gonna? This is not gonna work. Alright, I'm going to give this other side a try because this side should be worse. If this side goes in, I will make the other side fit. I don't care if I need to pound one of those pipes down to a Ticonderoga pencil diameter. Make this 454 or 392. Let's see. Oh. Can you see me? Oh, okay. This is in the way. No way. What am I hitting? This is getting in my way. Hitting this. Well, this side's a lot closer than the other side. If I was to grind this or beat this pipe in, it would maybe go. Well, I got a Sharpie mark here, and I got one going here this way. So I'm not honestly sure where this needs to be, but I don't know. I was thinking about maybe sending these back, but oh, that looks terrible. I should probably use a like a, what the hell you call it, body panel straightener piece or thing. Troy got me these. These are like big bearings from something, and they're probably really brittle, so if they explode, they'll blow your face off. I feel like that is nowhere near enough. Back to the ball peen. Alright, because I beat the living crap out of it here, now I really need to beat it down here. This corner is screwing me, but I can't get this to beat in because I've folded this over and whatever. It's actually cracked here now too. So that's going to need to be welded anyway. But I think what I'm going to do is take the old death wheel, cut this up like this, and cut this in here somehow, and maybe some more spots. I don't know. I'm going to cut this out, cut this, and beat it flat with a hammer, then weld her back up. Although this is, you know, stainless, so I don't know. If it doesn't weld, I'll just give it to Troy and he can take it to work and have somebody stainless weld it. So I do have a TIG welder. That is a TIG also, but I've never used it, and I don't think that one will work for stainless. Not 100% sure, but we're just gonna grind, cut, maybe weld this back together. I don't know. This is gonna look hideous now, but it is what it is. Well, I got one in there. Turns out where I was beating it up here, it was actually hitting on the motor mount down there. So once I beat that in, then it fit just fine. So I was actually beating in the wrong spot, and I probably didn't even need to cut it with the grinder, but this is where we're at. So I got that side in. This side, I don't know. I cannot get that to fit in there. And this tube sits way out. I don't know. May be able to undo the motor mounts and pick the motor up to maybe get it in there, but I think that tube is way too wide, so This side's not like that. This side's all tight together. The side I thought was going to be the hardest was the easiest. This side, I do not see that going in there unless maybe we cut some pipes. I really don't want to make headers for this. I really don't. Honestly, I think our options are either going to be try to cut all those tubes and make it work, put those back in, cut our losses and buy like the hooker manifold style, or light it on fire and throw it off a cliff. Those are the only logical options I got right now. So, I don't know, but I'm done for the night. I'm done for the night. I don't know. It was embarrassing, more or less, put it that way. So, I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow, maybe we'll work on headers. Otherwise, we'll work on getting that radiator that's been sitting over there for the last 2 or 3 weeks in there. So, good night. See you tomorrow. Hey guys, new day. I'm frustrated. I've been out here for the last like 4 hours, I don't know how long, trying to get something to work. These are big block long tube headers that were actually on Taylor's Chevelle. He yanked his big block out when it decided it didn't need a few cam lobes, and then he's just had them since. So that's the reason for this whole thing. Which I think these actually would have a better chance of going in if this one tube did not come way out like this. Where this rear flange is, that's pretty much where my firewall is, pretty much right there. And this hangs out another 2 inches, 3 inches past this flange. So that was a no-go, of course. And then this brand new thing. I beat it a little bit here. I beat it a little bit here. I don't know if you can tell, but I beat it a little bit there. So I beat it a little bit everywhere. It ain't going in, put it that way. And I'm frustrated. I'm fed up. I just need to do something else, something to make some progress. I did stick my aluminum radiator in, but I'm missing the rubber gasket thing that goes in here. This is just like some hose that's flattened out, so it wobbles all over the place. And then I'm starting to look at the wiring, and I really don't feel like doing electrical right now, but this is a cheap radiator, okay? They give you this plug on this end, and then this end's got nothing. So, I don't know. I gotta go get some electrical stuff to finish that up, so that's a no-go also. So, I'm back on the fuel now. I got my fuel, whatchamacallit, filter here. I'm gonna mount that up, cut my line, put my AN fittings on my line, and get that all secured and finished up. So at least from the tank to the fuel pump is done, it's complete. I did also get all my gauges laying up here in various boxes. So one thing I didn't show you guys, sorry. When I went to put the oil line on my gauge, this was last weekend sometime, this end, the square end, twisted right off. And I mean like, didn't even get snug, just twisted off. So I ended up having to send that back, and my new one came today, along with all my little LED bulbs that I'm gonna put in. So once we get this fuel filter in, we're gonna finish up that gauge. Put all the light bulbs in, put all the gauges in, all that kind of stuff. I also believe that my fuel gauge is wired backwards, so I need to do some electrical testing with that also. So, but that'll be after we get this fuel filter thing in. So one thing I'll show you, see if I can set this down and angle this. This fuel filter is already loose. This is what it looks like. It's got a spring inside here, and then this fuel filter sits on here. So I had to take this apart to figure out which way the fuel should flow. Generally, you want your fuel to flow this way, so it goes around the outside. That way all the stuff isn't going, any debris isn't getting stuck inside the filter, because this pulls out and you can clean this. So you'd rather have the debris on the outside to clean the debris off. So that's why I had to take this apart. I already put, I already put my AN fittings on. Well, the second time, because the first time I put them on, they were the wrong size. So I already got that ready to go. Also, I got holes already pre-drilled in the frame. So now I'm gonna smash some bigger holes out, and then we'll get this mounted up, get the AN fuel line put on. Let's get it done. All right, my plan is to put this right here, kind of right behind this brake line, kind of come down underneath it. Should work. So I'll smash some holes out. I already got them pre-drilled. Okay. Now, before you put your lines on and you're all done, make sure you blow them out. I took the other end off already. There will be stuff inside there. You do not want to get that inside your fuel system. Okay. Connect them. Call her good. Okay. Tight. Finished. All right, back on the gauges again. So, like I said, I got all new gauges now. I put the oil pressure sensor thing back in here already. Clear out a little bit of room here. So, let's start with the temperature gauge here. Now these gauges don't look exactly like the old ones, which I'm not too fond of, but it is what it is. I'm also not 1000% where these go, so I better look. So this is like this. Oh, this would be the temperature because it's got a red line on it. Okay, this is going to be an absolute blast. When I got all the gauges back in the brackets or whatever, but when I took all the bolts out and took the gauges out, I didn't know which way the pins went, so I had to take some time and look up pictures and whatnot to figure out which direction the little terminals went. So before I get too carried away with putting the gauges back in, I'm gonna pull these lights out and replace them. with these LEDs. Oh, I guess it doesn't get one. All right, so all those are in. Now, let's start with this side. Before I put the oil pressure, before I put this whole assembly in, I am going to put this on there. Because I want to be really careful this time that I do not twist this off. Of course, I don't have any of the right tools. Typical. Okay. I'm going to go find a thing that goes on here. Get out of the way. All right. I want to be really careful with this time. Okay. Just barely snug with the wrong wrench. How is it possible to have the wrong wrench so many times? Okay. I'm calling that tight. Now I'll fish this up here. Okay, now I marked this with a plus, but I can't see it. Okay, so plus is on that side, so pink should be plus. Okay. Okay, this side is in again. So now we'll go to the other side, which is going to be a nightmare probably. I should verify that these will plug in before I even try putting this in. Alright. Oh boy. Okay, one's plugged in. Just ate something. Oh, the other one plugged in too. Okay. Both plugged in. Okay. It's all plugged in. So now I'm going to put the battery in, see what our lights look like, and maybe test our fuel gauge, because I feel like something's not right with that. Alright, got our gauges in. That one and this one. look nice. Nice-ish. Nice enough. Let's see what our lights look like. Turn the key on. See how our fuel light just buried itself full? That's the issue I gotta look into. I think it's wired. I think the positive's on the wrong side, but I don't know. Let's see. No lights? No lights. Ooh. Something's flashing. I remember this gauge was always kind of funny. Oh, we have lights. They're just really dim. See, that one's on. Let's turn this light off. I feel like we don't have lights, but that one's on. See? Huh. Well, we have no lights. We have blinker lights. Those come on. So I'm going to check this fuse panel here. Let's see if I can see anything. Oh, well, that might be why. Well, if I can get this out of the way. Damn it. We got a bad fuse. But, do we have a bad fuse? This one fuse looks like it's burnt out. Okay, I guess I do have lights. That fuse that was blown out was for the wipers, and I moved the heater to the wipers. But the LEDs that I put in are like extremely dim. They were kind of what was recommended, and I actually tried to order lights that weren't stupid bright, and these are too dim. I don't care for them at all. I'm probably going to end up ordering ones that are brighter. So I actually tried to show you with the GoPro, but they're so dim the GoPro couldn't even pick them up. So I do want to hook up my fuel sending unit and see if my gauge changes, because right now the fuel gauge is just buried, and that's not right. And I thought that I thought maybe it was wired backwards, but after looking at it and verifying when I put the gauges back in, they're not wired backwards. Maybe the other thing with the LEDs, maybe they're not extremely bright, is maybe I don't have a very good ground. Like I talked about in the dash video, I planned on running a wire directly from that instrument cluster to like the chassis somewhere, just to make sure my ground is like perfect. And maybe I'll run a little dummy wire and just see if it makes a difference. That may be why the LEDs are fairly dim. But usually with the LED, once you drop below a certain voltage, they just shut off. So I kind of have my doubts. But I'm gonna hook up this fuel sending unit real quick like, and see if my gauge changes at all. Well, I checked under the dash, and coming out here I should be getting like 3 volts, which doesn't seem right. Yeah, 2.9. That does not seem right. I would assume I should be getting 12. Should be getting 12 out here. But why would that be the way it is? All right, let's go take a look in the cab. Ain't getting through that way. Might need this meter. If it says empty, I'll be extremely happy, but I'm 90% sure it's not. gonna be buried right tight. Ah! Look at that. Empty. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to end this video here. This is not going to be my best video at all. A lot of failure and a lot of... I've already started editing part of the motor mounts, and a lot of the video, Taylor's microphone didn't work. So it's just like a lot of one-way conversation, and kind of not great. So I'll probably end up editing a lot of that out. Aside from that, just a lot of failure. Headers, fail. Motor mounts, fail. Started to put in my radiator, fail. So I don't know. At least I got something done. Fuel lines finished. My gauges are all in. Fuel works. Actually, I need to order a different fuel neck for that. That fuel neck is one for like, it's a Jax, which I think is like, or Jazz, J-A-Z, which I think is like high-end, I don't want to say high-end, but like racing. So when you fill it, when you take the cap off, you got to push like this flapper thing down in order to get fuel in it, and it's annoying, so I want to change that. Anyway, sorry, butterflies. I don't know. This was not a great video. It's not going to be good to edit, and honestly, I thought about just skipping this video completely and just not posting it at all, but this is part of doing a project. I mean, you're going to run into roadblocks, and it's really going to irritate you and tick you off, and you just need to sometimes just step away from whatever you're doing and I don't know, do something else and chill out a little bit and let your mind think about it. So I apologize if you're even still watching this. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support from the small percentage of subscribers I have. This is coming to an end. I want to say 1-2 videos left on this, maybe. All we got to do is put the radiator in, figure out headers, bolt up the drive shaft. Not much, honestly, not much to do. It's just more or less doing it. I need to get parts. That's what I need to do, get parts, so I can just get something done. But like I said, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Well, that's it. I'm leaving it there. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.